flights out of the country, and really, to be honest, I'm not really sure how certain I can be of the government at this point. Everybody is saying, if you want to get on out of here, you can. The Japanese government is telling us that if you're within 20 or I believe it's 30 kilometers of the event, that just go ahead and shut your house up and stay in your house. But
all right, Jack, let me stop you. We've got new information. We did find that local government website, but navigating it is in English, but we're now going into PDF files. Tell my crew and they're listening how you found the graph or the area that had the numbers of the 150 times safe levels.
Basically, what you want to do is
from the front page.
There's a red dot that with a little how can I say the triangular sign that says. Well, gosh, Alex, go ahead and put me on hold and put me on with your people, and I'll explain it to them in detail. Okay, well, you're on a phone line that's in Minnesota. We're here in Texas. But no, it's fine. Do it live on air. It's fine. All right. Well, basically, if you let's see, if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. How can I say squares on the right-hand side, and then there's a how can I say a thing you can click on there, and then there's a right on the right-hand side, on the lower right-hand side, there's a signal that you can click on that goes to where you can get information for the basically for the emergency, and click on that. Yeah, we're in that. It seems hidden. Continue. Oh gosh. Can you email us the actual sub URL? Only because we're running out of time in broadcast. I'd be calm, and I meant to do this the last few days. I could literally kick myself. But where's the mainstream news? They just let the federal government of Japan give them no information, so they say, we don't know. And now I'm here floundering around doing the job that the U.S. military should be doing. Dr. Bowman, what's your take on this?
Well, I'd say keep at it and dig for that information. I'm not, I think what you find will be better than what we've been getting from the federal government, but it still might not be everything. But keep at it. The bottom line, I think, is that the Japanese people are in enormous danger. And I think if I was over there and I didn't have something I had to do or wasn't going to be useful in saving lives, I think I'd leave.
Well, they've certainly been doing that. We're going to come back in the final segment with Dr. Bob Bowman, and I appreciate all of Jack's help. Stay with us, Jack, but I want to ask this question to Dr. Bowman. We had Dr. Chris Busby, a chemical physicist, on, who's an advisor to the BBC. He said this is a cover-up. Meltdown has probably already occurred. Bigger than bigger than Chernobyl, as you said, Doctor.
Right.
And he went on to talk about the internalization of the radiation and how the nuclear industry spends that. I'm going to talk to you, Doctor.
Alex has told you that the Mideast uprisings over food prices and shortages caused by fuel costs are spreading worldwide. We're seeing the impact right here in the United States. Ethanol, that was supposed to reduce petroleum use and fuel prices, hit a 30-month high in February, and pump prices are expected to reach $5 a gallon. Because of shipping costs, food is being priced out of the reach of millions of Americans, with an expected 35% jump in the next 60 days. Move quickly while you can still afford it, and eFoods Direct will pay your shipping costs for you. For the best tasting, long-term storable food, you pay nothing for shipping and can put every dollar into food at today's prices. eFoods Direct, food so delicious you can serve it tonight or save it for the future. Take advantage of free shipping by calling 800-409-5633. On the web, efoodsdirect.com/Alex, 800-409-5633, or efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
America, you've been warned.
For weeks, we've been warning you about a single event we believe will happen in the next 12 months that will shake the very foundations of our nation. We've told you about the video that details this shocking prediction. So far, over 6 million people have watched this free video online. Have you? Again, this big event has nothing to do with war or the stock market, yet it could change everything about your normal way of life. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your family. Could this really happen? Well, the man who created this video has been right about many predictions in his career. He was among the first to predict the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. If you haven't taken time to watch this free video, do it right now. You may never think about America the same way again. You can find the free video at endofamerica3.com. Again, that's www.endofamerica3.com. Watch the free video at endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com.
Gold isn't for you? Ted Anderson, president of Midas Resources, one of the world's premier gold and precious metal investing firms. I get it. You wouldn't buy gold if you believed that the government is doing a great job, that the Fed will stop handing out trillions of dollars like bailout candy, that Social Security would be there for you. That's not what's happening. You might even pass on gold if the stimulus package wouldn't fuel inflation, or that the dollar wouldn't lose value, or that your retirement would be secure. If all looks rosy to you, then now is not the time to buy gold. For the realist, there have never been more sobering reasons to diversify with gold. Since 2001, the U.S. dollar index has tanked 30% while gold has risen 300%. Right now, savvy investors are adding gold to their portfolios. You should too. Find out what they know. Call us and I'll send you 10 reasons why gold will do very well, free. 800-686-2237. 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
David J. Smith for Newswatch Magazine. Did you know that the United Nations is a Trojan horse and that the Secretary General of the United Nations has always been a socialist from the day that it was founded? Therefore, it can only bring about a one-world communist government. Do you realize that they will be in charge of all weaponry that the United States and every other nation turns over to it? Any nation that rebels, they will just send a nuclear weapon to bring it into subjection. We'd like to help you understand how these world events are going to affect you in the near future by offering you a 1-year free subscription to Newswatch Magazine. Just call our toll-free number, 1-800-516-8736. That's 1-800-516-8736. Call now while operators are standing by.
All right, Dr. Bob Bowman is our guest. We'll obviously be back live tomorrow, 11 to 2, probably going into overdrive back Sunday. If this continues to unfold, we'll have to be live Saturday. Just watch Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com for announcements. Don't forget Dr. Bob Bowman's excellent website, thepatriots.us. And we'll continue to have Dr. Bob Bowman, another physicist, nuclear physicist, on the broadcast. The retransmission's coming up in a moment with Dr. Chris Busby. Incredible hour, very informative we did with him, and all the latest will be covered after the break. But Dr. Bob Bowman, looking at this and what's coming towards the West and the level of the cover-up, can you describe to people what Dr. Doug Rocky's talked about, Dr. Chris Busby's talked about, both physicists, that the nuclear industry has a false gauge saying, well, it's 2, it's 10, it's 20 times, safe levels that might hit the U.S., but that's no big deal. It's like sunshine. Well, no, you're ingesting these particles, and these doctors were saying that's what's so devastating. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's if you ingest the particle, if you breathe it in, that is what is difficult and dangerous. Now, most of the radiation, of course, will fall on the ocean. Some will fall on the land, might possibly get into the food chain. Breathing it in is sort of hard to do when there's so little of it falling out. And how much has gotten into the jet stream now? Probably not much. The explosions have not gone very high. They've gone a few thousand feet. You have to send that stuff up to 35,000 feet before it gets caught in the jet stream. So, yeah, if you're concerned, wear a mask, just one of these paper masks. That will make a huge difference.
And then also, if anybody could get potassium iodate, consult your doctor, of course, but once radiation levels did go up, it would be advisable to take that, correct, doctor?
Once the radiation levels are up, a couple of hundred times normal or more than that, or there's any indication of radiation sickness, that's the time to take it.
All right, Dr. Bob Bowman, we will talk to you again in the very near future. Thank you for spending so much time with us. We're very thankful.
Okay, maybe next time we can talk about other stuff like the wars and 9/11 and all the rest of it.
Yes, sir. We do cover all of that here, as you know.
Yeah, you bet.
Absolutely. And hopefully you'll be coming to Austin in April. We'll have you in studio. Take care, my friend.
Great. Bye-bye.
We've got some other shocking news here. This being reported out of Fox Television in D.C. Windows at Washington, D.C. Republican office shot out. There have been a lot of death threats by the union-connected people against Republicans as of late. MSNBC's been hailing all of the vitriol, but when the Tea Party people just protest, they call it violent and dangerous. Police are searching for suspects after someone shot out windows at a Republican office in the district. Police say the vandalism occurred Tuesday night. All the windows of the office were damaged. The executive director of the Republican committee says an air gun was probably used, so that's good news that it was just a BB gun. Could have just been vandalism or could have been a dumb kid. In fact, that's what the MO, I would say, the type of person that would do it. Also, regular potassium iodine drops and things only give you thyroid help from the doctors and pharmacists we've interviewed. It only makes you have a healthy thyroid and might keep you from absorbing some of the radiation, but I can't give medical advice. I am about 98% sure we can get it if we want, that because it happens to be in Texas, the only known supply of potassium iodate in the country that is readily packaged and available. It's a group that sells the mainline pills, the government itself, but also puts together these other types that is the raw iodine, but in the proper dosage. We're there researching it. It happens to be in Texas, Gonzales. Our people are there now. Look for that at Infowars.com this evening, but there's not going to be that much of it because it's almost all gone. This happened because my staff was looking for it for themselves. I have pills I bought years ago, a decade ago. They were all basically expired, but I've talked to folks. For myself personally, it looks like they would still work, but my wife's not sure, so we've been tearing things apart and found it right under our nose with folks we interviewed 11, 12 years ago dealing with it, and I'm probably going to get them on air. They're folks that also build nuclear detectors. Raymond Teague's friends with them and worked with them in the past, tried to get me into it 10, 12 years ago about how dangerous reactors were. But the point is that we've got to have all the inserts and the facts, and you got to get your medical advice first. We're not doing that, but it's something legally sold all over the country, but it's gone. And so look for that at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. We also have the Dulce and seaweed-based iodine pills available at InfoWarsTeam.com. But, again, that's just for regular health, folks. And the whole point is with this iodine stuff is you don't take it till the radiation's here and you know what's going on. According to Dr. Bob Bowman, he's a doctor and physicist, so I'll listen to him. But you take your own advice, your own research. Key retransmission coming up now, Infowars.com and on the radio stations. And then Dr. Chris Busby, key info coming up.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Again, the Congressional Budget Office sounds the alarm. This time warns of Greek-style U.S. debt crises. You heard me right. The GAO is drawing a parallel between the U.S. economy, its debt, and the current Greek economic meltdown